What's up YouTube, it's Brandon and I'm back with another video. Normally I post electric skateboard videos on this channel, but this video will be the first of many tech videos that I plan to upload here. If you enjoy either tech videos or electric skateboard videos, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell below so you can see whenever I upload my next video. As you watch this video and you find that the video is either helpful or entertaining, I would appreciate if you'd hit the like button since these videos do take a lot of time and effort to make. Also consider following me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Twitch. I post a lot of similar content you see on this channel over on those platforms, as well as different types of platforms, as well as updates. So definitely follow me there if you're interested. So in today's video, I want to show you my own desktop setup for 2020 going into 2021. Whether it's for programming, working from home, gaming, Twitch streaming, editing videos, this is where all the magic happens. The combined value of everything here has cost me just over $4,000, which I will cover at the very end of the video. I've built up this setup over the last couple of years with many different iterations as I continue to update it to suit my needs. I really tried to design a clean setup that hid the wires well and made it mostly wireless for the most part with my peripherals, but this is far from its final form. However, it does do the job very well, and I hope it can inspire some of you guys watching to make some upgrades to your own home setups. Let me know in the comments if you spot anything in this video that you think would look great in your own setup. So as we go through the video, I will briefly talk about each product and what I use it for. For some of these items, I do plan to make a more in-depth review for them, but if there's something that catches your eyes and you want some more info, definitely let me know in the comments so I know that you want to see a review for them. And of course, if you're interested in buying any of the things that I talk about today, there will be links for all of them in the description below. So let's begin with the core of my setup, my desktop PC. I built this PC back in October of 2019. I wanted something that could both be a video editing powerhouse as well as playing any of the top of the line games back then at like 100 FPS at 1080p. I've always wanted to build a computer as a kid, so this really was a dream come true for me when I built it. On the outside is the beautiful white NZXT H510i case. I chose this case because it does have integrated lights inside that gives it a very nice ambient glow even if you don't have RGB components on the inside. Speaking of which, the inside is powered by the following: a Radeon RX 5700, a Ryzen 7 2700X with the stock Wraith Prism cooler, 32GB of Corsair Vengeance LPX RAM, the Gigabyte B450 Aorus Pro Wi-Fi motherboard, 2 SSDs including a 512GB NVMe drive for my OS and a 1TB standard SSD, both made by ADATA. All of that is powered by the EVGA G5 650 watts 80 plus gold power supply. This machine has basically handled everything I've thrown at it, whether it's heavy gaming, video editing, or rendering, streaming on Twitch. It does it all. The PC components alone has cost me just about $1,100 at the time of me buying. And considering that it does everything I need and more at a pretty fair price and most likely will last for the next couple of years, I would say it was a very worthy investment. As you saw earlier in the footage, I do have 3 of the same exact monitors. Each of these are the very popular AOC C24G1 monitor. And it's popular for good reason. For about $145, you get a 24-inch curved 144Hz 1080p VA display. I bought it because I wanted a decent game monitor with a high refresh rate that also happened to have decent colors for content creation. After I bought the first one, I ended up loving it so much that I ended up buying 2 more. After some color adjustments, the monitor looks great, especially at that max refresh rate. Having multiple monitors does let me multitask a lot more efficiently in everything I do. For example, when I stream on Twitch, I tend to have my game, OBS, chat, Discord, and Spotify open at the same time. So the vertical monitor setup that I have is really nice because it allows me to look at my windows without having to strain my neck too much. Having 3 monitors can also mean I can stitch them together for an ultra widescreen resolution. Let me tell you, playing video games at 5760 by 1080 resolution is an unreal and a super immersive experience. So all my monitors are supported by 2 monitor arms mounted to the back of my desk, which does give it an illusion of floating monitors. The arms I use are pretty budget, but they do get the job done. Just don't expect to be moving the monitors up and down vertically too much because it is kind of a hassle on these type of mounts. Behind my monitors are my Logitech Z213 speakers. For about $30, it includes 2 speakers, 1 small subwoofer, and a volume slider. They sound pretty good with decent bass, and I like using them when I can't be bothered to use my headset when I'm either playing video games, watching movies, or TV shows. However, when I do want to wear one, my headset of choice is the SteelSeries Arctis 7. I was tired of wired earbuds when I gamed, and the Arctis 7 became my perfect replacement since it's wireless, it's comfortable, it sounds good, it looks good, and has really great software. Honestly, it has enough features that justifies me making a separate review video, so if you're interested in seeing that, let me know in the comments, but otherwise I would recommend this to any gamer. Of course, to continue with the wireless trend, I do need a wireless mouse and a keyboard. The mouse I use is the Razer Basilisk X Hyperspeed, and while it doesn't pack too many features, the wireless capabilities are pretty consistent, and since I picked it up for only 40 bucks, I have very few complaints. The mouse pads I use are also from SteelSeries. I do own a couple of them, and honestly, they're all pretty good, and you can't go wrong with any SteelSeries mouse pad. My keyboard also is one of those items that deserves its own review because I love this thing. I use the Keychron K8 that comes with an aluminum frame, Gateron Browns, and hot swappable switches. I've also customized it with pudding caps, allowing the LED to shine through a bit more. My reason for getting this keyboard was mostly because it was wireless for casual use, as well as having a wired capability for intense competitive gaming, and was high quality enough for me to dip my toes into the vast hobby of mechanical keyboards. This keyboard absolutely checked off all those marks for me, and I absolutely love it. There are times when I just want to kick back and relax and not use the mouse and keyboard, and for that I use the Xbox Series X controller. It natively connects via Bluetooth on Windows, so it just works out when I want to sit back and game. This next item most likely will not apply for most of you, but for flight simulator games that I occasionally play, my setup also includes a Thrustmaster T16000M flight stick. It has an extra layer of immersion when I'm flying either a 737 or an X-Wing fighter. For even more immersion, but this time in virtual reality, I own a Samsung Odyssey Plus headset. I can talk about VR all day, but this specific headset was at a very competitive price at the time I bought it last year, and it was the best option out of all the Windows mixed reality headsets, and it was still cheaper and as capable as the more expensive Oculus and Vive options at the time. It's still a great headset to this day, but the VR industry has definitely evolved a lot over the last year or so, which I won't go into now, but just know that this headset has allowed me the ability to experience legitimate exercise through gaming, as well as super crazy immersive experiences. So those are all the PC related equipment and peripherals that I directly use, but I also want to show you guys what I use for streaming and studio related purposes at the setup. I use two newer studio lights as a key light as well as a fill light. For audio, I currently use a Blue Snowball microphone, which is also supported by a microphone arm. My Sony ZV-1 video camera is used as my primary webcam when I'm streaming, as well as my primary camera for videos just like the one that you're watching right now. When it is set up for streaming, the camera is also supported by a microphone arm since it is pretty lightweight and it can be put up like that. I also have a Razer Kiyo webcam that I originally bought for streaming, but I now use as an alternative camera for my streams. I like this camera because it does have a built-in ring light, which adds for some extra lighting. So I do recommend this camera to any prospective streamers that need some more lighting as well as a camera. It works kind of all in one. I also wanted to give an honorable mention to my 2018 iPad Pro. I usually have it on the side when I'm streaming in order to use it as a stream deck through Streamlabs OBS. But otherwise, I just love my iPad in general. It's one of my favorite tech pieces, and I use it outside of my setup, just like playing around with it, and it has many uses at the setup besides just streaming. So all my equipment works together to elevate the quality of my YouTube videos as well as my Twitch streams. The Sony ZV-1 and the newer lights especially have enabled me to record a super crisp video like the one you're seeing right now, which increases my overall production quality for all the content I create. But speaking of which, if you haven't already followed me on Twitch, I do stream 4 nights a week and just recently became a Twitch affiliate. So if you guys like video games or just want to come, chill, hang out and chat, definitely come to my Twitch channel because we have a pretty good time there regardless of whether you play video games or not. If you do want to join the community in other ways, we do also have a Discord server called The Fast Lane, where we can discuss anything from e-skate, tech, video games, as well as hosting events and giveaways. So if you're interested in those, link to those will be in the description below. There are just a few more key parts of the setup before I've covered everything. Around my desk, I have these fake plants, but unfortunately, I do not have a link to them because I physically bought them from a store called Flying Tiger Copenhagen, and I believe their entire US franchise has recently closed down. Regardless, I think fake plants are a really good decoration for your desk because it adds a pop of color that you otherwise wouldn't have, so I'll try to see if I can find any other fake plant alternatives and put them in the link below. Along the back of my desk and my room is also a 16 feet RGB LED strip, which does give my setup a really nice ambient lighting. Usually I have it in my iconic purple color, but depending on my mood, I can change it to whatever color I want. It is also controllable via Google Home and Alexa through my smart plugs. So on my wall is actual literal trash. I'm not even kidding. I ended up taping packaging foam on my wall as of course sort of a budget sound foam. Honestly, I don't even know if it does work or not, but it doesn't look too bad. So I'm gonna keep it there for now, but I might actually invest in real sound foam in the future. There is also a piece of artwork on the wall that is certainly not trash. This piece was made and gifted to me by my brother, and I've hung it up here ever since he gave it to me. And I think it really does tie this up together because I do get really motivated whenever I look at it, as well as filling up that space above my monitor. The chair I sit on is an office chair called Burlman from Zenith that I bought on Amazon a while ago. It's fairly comfortable, however, the seat base is a little bit too large for my legs, so my back is rarely in a position where I'm comfortable unless I add a pillow to the backrest. I am thinking about buying a new chair in the coming weeks or so, so that'll be in the next 2021 video. So finally, the last thing in my setup, supporting it all, is my desk. Unfortunately, I'll tell you now that this desk has been discontinued. I know it looks like a really sick desk, but this is the old IKEA Gallant desk, and I've had this since childhood. It's a really nice and subtle corner desk with plenty of space. I have checked, and it seems IKEA has a new and similar table called the Beckant. I'll link it below, but it seems like there are really significant differences between that desk and the desk that I have, so be warned about that. However, what I do like about this desk is the ability to cable manage using just zip ties. As you can see, under my desk, most of my wires are hidden along the underside of the desk or kind of messily tucked into the monitor arm clamps. The cable management isn't perfect, but I'm pretty happy with what I was able to accomplish with only zip ties and cable ties. Alright, so that is everything that makes up my current desktop setup that I use for gaming, for work, for streaming, and editing. Let's quickly look at the price breakdown. Keep in mind, this will be based on what I spent on these items, so the prices at the time of you watching this video and going to buy it might be different than what I spent for it. So if we add everything up, my total spending cost to have achieved this setup is just over $4,000. All things considered, I honestly would have thought that this setup would be way more expensive, but I did receive a number of these things for free, especially that desk, which would have been expensive. But I think if you're trying to build a setup like this, you don't need everything I have, especially like the studio equipment. If you're just looking for the computer, if you're just looking for the monitors and everything, I would say it definitely dips below $2,000. So again, all the products I've talked about today will be in the description. So I want you guys to let me know in the comments what your favorite thing in this video was and what would you put in your own home setup. But yeah, that's about it for the 2020 setup tour. If this video was helpful, don't forget to hit the like button because these videos do take a lot of time and effort to make. Honestly, I spent a couple of weeks making this video along with other content and platforms that I create stuff for. If you want to see more content like this, definitely hit the subscribe and the notification bells below and follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Again, I've also been seriously streaming over on Twitch. We recently became a Twitch affiliate. If you guys like video games or just want a place to hang out and chill, I'd really appreciate if you guys would give me a follow there or stop by one of my streams. You can also join our Discord community that I mentioned before to meet new people or just chat. Links to all my socials and everything will be down in the description below. If you made it this far to the video, honestly, you're awesome. This video is really long. Thank you for bearing with me. I hope you enjoyed the video and I will see you next time. Peace.